Thank you. What a way to bless this space. Thank you so much. And I'd like to start by first thanking you all for being here today. And I really want to thank and introduce our first speaker. We are so delighted to have Mayor Michelle Wu with us today. On behalf of CommCorp, we are so grateful, Mayor Wu, for your leadership, for your vision, and for your support. Your vision to the commitment to take on some of our hardest challenges, centering on the effort to pursue racial, economic, and climate justice, aligns so well with CommCorp's strategic plan and vision. The City of Boston has been a strong partner with CommCorp, and we look forward to continuing to do the hard work together. Thank you, Mayor Wu, and the speech is yours.
Careful to any of the speakers, all the glitter on the floor. Thank you so much. I'm incredibly honored to be here to celebrate this amazing space, this amazing partnership, and the good work that will happen from here. I had the chance to meet just now City Councilor Del Marina Lopez from Chicopee, so thank you to my sister in service as well for your leadership. And of course, the home that you all are in right now, that of the Unite Here New England Joint Board, is one that stretches back with so much history for what it means to build community power, and create workforce development pipelines that then build a foundation for our families for decades and generations to come. And so thank you so much to Warren for all that you do for our community and for the strong, strong partner that you have always been. There couldn't be a better moment for us to be kicking off this program and this initiative. We know that staffing is a challenge everywhere in every industry, and that the gaps that exist are ones that we have the power to connect and fill when community members are directly plugged in. And so look forward to being back for more celebrations, and thank you so much for having me. Congratulations on this grand opening.
So thank you. We are thrilled to be here. Staff, board members, partners, future partners, our mayor, thank you. I'd like to start by recognizing our executive leadership team, and if you could raise your hand. I was going to say stand, but I think a lot of you are standing anyway. Deirdre LeConte, who is our Vice President of HR. Katani Kuhneman, VP of Programs. Yashu Kaufman, who's our Vice President of Evaluation and Research. And our interim Chief Financial Advisor, Charles Ossetti, who also serves on our board. So you'll notice that I said interim. I'm going to make an unabashed a request that if you know anyone, that CFO that would love to participate and has a passion for workforce development and would love to be a part of this movement, please call me. We are looking, and we are looking for that right person. So thank you. We also have several board members here today, and if you could stand or just wave your hand so that we could acknowledge you as well as our staff. All of you, just raise your hand and stand. We are delighted, and we couldn't be prouder of the work that you have all done to get us to where we are today, and the people, the impact that you have made all along the way. So thank you to all of that. I'd also like to thank Loda Rivera, Lucila Santana, and their incredible marketing staff and interns, including Anna Trianos, Oscar Campos, Tom Howard, Liana Sincotti, Maya Bravo, and Maria Gonzalez. If you could stand, and I'm sorry, Emily Rooney. You wouldn't believe what this space looked like a few days ago. So to see the transformation and what they have done and how they have turned this space, and all of you, Andre Channer, who's behind me here, turned this space into our home and have done it so beautifully. My thanks to all of you for doing that. So I am so grateful for being here today and for your continued support of CommCorp and our vision to create a world where meaningful employment can lead to the upward mobility for all. As you arrived, you likely noticed our mural that brings to life this vision. The mural was created in tandem with support and partnership from Studio Fresh and a youth apprentice, NKA the artist, along with staff who provided input to ensure that everyone felt represented. This space, like our mural, reflects the hard work, collaboration of our staff, our board, our partners, and the intentionality of bringing our goals and values of our strategic plan to life. And the cornerstone of our plan is DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. You'll find our plan on our website, and for all of you not familiar with it, I urge you to go on, take a look, and really get to know who we are and what we're all about. As a leader in workforce development, CommCorp is committed to having DEI embedded throughout our programs and the services that we offer. We have also investing heavily in DEI, hiring our first director of DEI, Jeff Smith, if you want to raise your hand. Who is working with our staff and our partners in these efforts. Our strategic plan focuses on DEI from both an internal perspective as well as an external perspective. Internally, looking at who we hire, how we hire, succession planning, compensation equity, all reflected within the workplace and our culture. From an external perspective, we're evaluating who and how we partner, where our money is going, who we are training as we deliver intentional programming to engage under and unemployed populations in meaningful economic mobility opportunities focused on communities that have historically experienced resource inequity. You will see that thread throughout this building today when you go on your scavenger hunt, which is a little later. I want you to look at the names of the rooms and our office spaces. Intentionally, they are all our gateway cities. Again, reminding us as we come into each space who we are here to serve. We're not only providing our strategies, but we're also in the process of developing dashboards to make sure that we have transparency in not only what we have accomplished, but also where we have to go and where the opportunities remain. All this leads to where we are today. We started this office search with the intention of supporting a women or minority-owned business or organization that aligned with our values. If you look at our budget, our office space is, I think, the third or fourth largest expense, and it was important for us that we use those resources to support the communities that we so desire to serve. We had a couple of meetings that didn't go so well. At the first meeting, made it very clear what we wanted and our intent. And after the 2 meetings of being shown traditional properties where I kept asking, okay, does this align with, minority or women-owned? And at the second meeting, they said, well, it's really hard. It's really hard to find those spaces, which really kind of just reinforces historical inequities. So what we ended up doing is we found a new realtor. And we have Judy Kazoo, who's here today. Judy, if you want to raise your hand. She's with Boston Trust Realty Commercial Group. And Judy understood immediately, not only our intention, but she also understood the market. And the rest is history. Within a couple of weeks, we found this property. And our landlord here is the International Ladies Garment Union, Workers Union, which is one of the largest unions in the United States, beginning in 1900. Representing hundreds and thousands of workers in the clothing industry, most of them women. They are, again, predominantly women of color, and hail from all corners of the planet. You will also note as you go around our space here today, later with our little hunt, our space focuses in on collaboration and flexible work. The rise of flexible work post-COVID has created an opportunity for employers and employees alike. When done well, hybrid work improves employee experience, increases workforce productivity, decreases our carbon footprint of commuting, and enables a more inclusive and diverse organization. Sure. This space, our collective space, is designed for meaningful collaboration, bringing together those with differing perspectives, thank you, and complementary needs from businesses, education, and training providers, workforce organizations, and community resources, all here represented today, to support the implementation and the sustainability of effective workforce programs and services that will benefit those we serve. And for that, we thank you. And now, I'd like to introduce our landlord, Warren Pepselli, Manager and Executive Vice President of Unite Here. Unite Here is a labor union that represents over 300,000 working people across Canada and the United States. He has spent the last 4 decades of his career advocating for workers' rights, negotiating hundreds, and I'll attest to that, Warren. Every time I talk to him, he's negotiating a labor contract, and serving on numerous workforce boards, including our Mass Hire Board, dedicating his efforts to make sure women and people of color receive greater opportunities and equality in their jobs. We are honored to partner with him in our new office space, and we are honored to have him speak today. Warren.
Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it. So I want to welcome everybody to this historic building and to this beautiful neighborhood in the city of Boston. It has roots that go very far back. It's a neighborhood that has welcomed recent immigrants over many years. Currently now known as Chinatown, Chinese immigrants and Asian immigrants have come here for many years. The first Chinese restaurant was across the street from here in 1860, so a while ago. At one point, there were a lot of laundries here, and where the only jobs that Asian people could get was to work in the laundries. And so there were a lot of laundries, and that's why they settled here in Chinatown. And then slowly, over time, things changed, as you know, and the garment industry came into this area in Chinatown. And this place was full of Chinese garment shops all over Chinatown here. And unfortunately, because of globalization, they're not here anymore. So the neighborhood has seen many, many changes. The message I want to leave with you, though, is in this neighborhood, everyone is welcome. Doesn't matter what country you come from or what language you speak. So we're so proud and happy to be in this neighborhood. This building is an historic building. It was built in the turn of the century, around 1908, by a very wealthy industrialist. His daughter built this building. That's why it's called the Damien Building. If you go outside, you can see the name. That was their last name. She built this building. It was a warehouse at one particular time. These floors are concrete floors. We actually have done a survey, an engineering survey, and you could drive cars in here. We could convert this into a parking garage, but we thought it would be better to rent it to Commonwealth Court. So the building is very, very strong. We're very, very proud of the building. The building was bought in 1940s by the ILG, the International Ladies Garment Workers Union, hence the name of the owner of the building is the International Ladies Corp. So I want to ask you to come with me for a slight journey, go back in time to 1908, when Jewish and Italian immigrants came to this country seeking a better life for themselves and for their family and for their community. They didn't speak English. They came here and worked in sweatshops. They understood the value of collectiveness, a collective action. They understood the importance of community and family. They formed a union back then where there wasn't a union. I'm always so moved by that I could be part of that legacy. I couldn't have done it myself. They did it back then. But imagine in 1908 being a woman who doesn't speak English and forming a union that doesn't exist, which is quite really inspirational and inspiring. So they had a vision of the future that would be improvement for their communities and their families. And they put their pennies together and they bought this building because the industry was primarily in New York City and moved to the different cities, including Boston, which a lot of people don't realize. There was a major garment industry in the city of Boston. It was actually one of the highest paid jobs, even before, more than construction. And of course, as I said earlier, the garment industry has been decimated by globalization. But they put their pennies together and bought this building. Guess who they bought the building from? They bought the building from Mass General Hospital, owned the building. We're not sure why Mass General owned it, but we bought it from them and created this great space. In this space was the last union garment shop in the city that was actually reside here. We went through changes, as everybody does, the community, and we've changed the building. We've done a lot of work in upgrading the building and converted it into more office space. And we're very blessed today to have Leader Bank, which is our partner that helped fund this construction and other constructions. Again, they have a vision of the importance of community. Now, one thing I want to tell you, and I'm not supposed to go say this, I know, I'm not supposed as a public speaker talk too much about my feelings, my personal feelings, but I am so, so happy and proud of having Commonwealth Corp here. And I'll tell you why. Because those immigrants that I talked to you a little earlier, a while ago, they understood the importance of education. They understood the importance of training. Their next generations went to school and went to other industries. We've always, our union, always have seen the importance of training and education. We've been for many years on the Mass Hire State Workforce Board because we know the importance of training. So here we have a tenant that actually has that mission. And we're trying to do the same thing in a different venue. And here we are together, sharing space together in finances and revenue in an indirect way, as you know. This is a great opportunity for us because the recent immigrants, and we're an immigrant union, knew the importance of upward mobility, which is your theme today, okay? And that's what we wanted. That's what they wanted for their children and for their grandchildren, upward mobility in a better life. And here we are now in a different way, working together to make that happen. So it's one of the most, the proudest moment I have, to be quite honest with you, of my limited 42-year career, that in terms of bringing this group in here, who I've known for many years, involved in the training department, training issues. So it's a great day. I'm really blessed. I'm very happy. And I welcome you to this beautiful space. And let's go forward working together, slightly different paths, but the mountain is the same. The head of the top of the mountain is the same. And let's make everybody's lives better. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Warren. And I'm getting a big echo here. I think his speech just demonstrated just how important it is to align values. That's not you? All right. We're getting, I just want to stop for a minute. There it goes. So again, the alignment of values is so critical, and I think Warren's comments just echoed why that is so important. So thank you, Warren, and we are delighted to be in this space doing the good work with you. So next, we are grateful to have Robert Nelson speaking today. He has worked with the U.S. Small Business Administration for almost 20 years, helping entrepreneurs get access to necessary capital, training, and government contracting. Through his dedication and efforts as the Massachusetts District Director, Massachusetts has seen an increase in SBA loan programs, ranking them as one of the most productive district offices, offering loans to small businesses. Massachusetts is very lucky to have you. Robert?
Thank you, Christine, for that very kind introduction. So it's great to be here with all of you, and I wanted to be here personally to join in this celebration. And I hear the echo myself, but again, this is a wonderful space. This is a wonderful day to be here in Chinatown, in the community. One of the things that I wanted to let all of you know is that the SBA and Commonwealth Corp, we executed a strategic alliance agreement between us during the COVID time in order to make sure that all in the Commonwealth know about the programs and services of CommCorp and the SBA. And I can tell you, in my travels and talking with small businesses, I often ask them, have you heard about Commonwealth Corp? Do you know about their programs? And surprisingly, they say yes, and they access the programs. And so, and for those that don't know about the programs, we talk about them. And so, you know, the Strategic Alliance Agreement is a way for Commonwealth Corp to let folks in your realm know about the SBA and our programs, but for us to do the same. And it's all about our mission, which is so aligned, which is helping to build vibrant communities. And I have to tell you, from a government perspective, and you know, having worked for the government for 31 years, but there is tremendous focus right now on making sure that there's equity and opportunity for all. This is not only within the SBA, but across all programs and across all agencies. And when I talk about our equity plan, it's increasing access to capital for underserved communities. It's making sure that there's government contracting opportunities for women and for minority entrepreneurs, but also training opportunities. And this is where our partnership is so important in making sure that small businesses know about the programs, the tools, so that they can access and grow. And again, just my absolute, I join in the gentleman's remarks as far as just being happy about being here and celebrating with all of you. So congratulations and thank you.
So our last speaker is Secretary Rosalin Acosta, who is joining us virtually. She needs no introduction, but for those who are unaware of her impressive background, she's worked in numerous fields, including financial services, banking, government, operations, and philanthropy. Today, she is helping diverse and underrepresented residents of Massachusetts find their voices in workforce. We thank you, Rosalin, for being a champion of workforce development, and we thank you for your support always of Commonwealth Corporation. We are so grateful to have you here today speaking. Secretary Acosta?
Everything that everyone has said, Christine and Warren, Bob, I mean, the representation of our community here and our dancers bringing in the blessings of the community and ushering in good luck and prosperity for CommCorp and this mission. It has really been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to be the secretary over these past several years. And these last couple of years, as we all know, have been challenging for so many of us, and particularly have been challenging for our low-income communities and our communities of color. And that's why I'm so inspired by the work that CommCorp is doing with the leadership of Christine, the board, and the incredible team that she has assembled to really pull us together and think about how is workforce going to look like in the future? What does it look like now? And the pivots have to be fast. We need quick speed to make sure that we are meeting the needs of our workforce and that we are coming out of this pandemic in a much more equitable way. It hasn't always been the case coming out of recessions, and we see it now again. So it's our responsibility to make sure that we keep equity front and center in everything that we're doing. And as you can see from the CommCorp space, that's exactly what the team has built and what the team will continue to do. So I really am inspired by the combination of the flexibility, the productivity, the creativity that the workforce needs to have going forward. And the sooner that our employers really embrace that, the flexibility piece, the adaptability, and the equity piece, I think Massachusetts can get to a place that we were a much better place than we were before the pandemic. We've always known that inequity existed and exists in Massachusetts. What I'm encouraged about, and I am very eternally optimistic, is that there's much more of a spotlight right now on the issue than I think that there has ever been. And there's a more universal sense, I think, of responsibility that we have the power to make this right. We are at a moment right now where we have more financial resources than the workforce system has ever seen. We've never seen over $200 million in workforce dollars. CommCorp is going to be at the front of that story, making sure that those grants are executed and executed in an equitable way. So I'm very excited for what the future holds here for the Commonwealth. I'm so glad that you are all able to join us. Warren, your partnership on this has been wonderful. Your dedication in our Mass Hire Board is evident, and we're seeing it play out right here as you welcomed us into this beautiful, gorgeous space that I'm so excited to bring more people in, convene, have those courageous conversations, talk about the things that are not comfortable, make sure that we are coming up with solutions to make this all a better place. And you know what, Warren? Talking about feelings is okay. I think that's okay. And you know, being Cuban, I'm always leading with my feelings. So thank you all very much. Enjoy this space. Enjoy the day. Enjoy your scavenger hunt. I'm sorry I'm missing that. And I'm looking forward to being and seeing all of you very soon. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Secretary Acosta. If I could have the executive leadership team and also any board members up for our ribbon cutting, we're gonna, and be careful of the glitter. No, we'll do it after. So our ELT and any board members, come on up. We got ways going around it. Okay, I think you start and then straighten down and look at where the scissors are. And then
welcome everybody.